In this video, we'll be looking at the Lehigh Valley's Wilkes-Barre yard operation. It's a pretty interesting and can be a challenging position for an operator, but I think everyone who's done it has really enjoyed it. Wilkes-Barre was a large coal mining and industrial area in northeast Pennsylvania where both my wife and I grew up. On the layout, as on the prototype, there are interchanges with the Jersey Central, the Pennsylvania Railroad, and the L&WV, or the Laurel Line. We'll start by taking a short tour and look at the yard limits. The western end of the yard limit extends from the crossovers on the main line and the siding serving the Continental Can Company and the Wilkes-Barre Waste Manufacturing Company. As we move towards the east, we have the lead to a two-track double-ended siding, which is used by the Wilkes-Barre local to both drop off and pick up cars for the Wilkes-Barre area. To the rear, we have the Pennsylvania Railroad track, and this is one of the non-operational areas on the layout right now. The Pennsylvania Railroad serves the Okanite Company buildings and the hazard wire rope siding. But the Lehigh Valley has trackage rights over those tracks to reach their sidings for the passenger station and the wholesale district along Pennsylvania Avenue, which the railroaders referred to as the meat hole for obvious reasons. There are double-ended sidings on both sides of the double-track main line that proceeds through town, and both of them serve multiple purposes. The track to the rear, where the baggage car is located, serves as a switching lead to both the Pennsylvania Railroad tracks and eventually to the meat hole, and also to the L&WV. The passing siding to the right serves for access to the yard office lead immediately in front of us. And to the Lehigh Valley's freight station and the interchange track with the Jersey Central. To the east, we pass the L&WV tracks and the interchange track for the Lehigh Valley. This is another segment of the layout that is non-operational at this time. And then we pass through Franklin Junction. From Franklin Junction, we pass eastward past the South Wilkes-Barre mine, which is switched by the Jersey Central, and we reach the Parish Street team track, which is switched by the Lehigh Valley, and just past Parish Street crossing, we can see the eastern yard limit just before we reach the Blackman Street Bridge. This is the control panel for Wilkes-Barre. There are 4 crossovers between the eastbound and westbound tracks, and the position is indicated by the LEDs. the siding to the American Can Company. On this side, the lead into the yard tracks, both double-ended. Again, these are primarily used by the Wilkes-Barre local to drop off cars, and the Wilkes-Barre switcher will leave cars on one of the other track to be picked up. Here we have the two double-ended sidings. This one is for the freight station, the Lehigh Valley's freight station. This one is the C&J interchange track. And as I mentioned in an earlier video, the C&J is DC, so these track segments can be set to operate either DC to the right or DCC to the left. The freight station track is used by the Jersey Central as part of the switching movement. We have one track which was manually operated to the freight station, and this track is for the Lehigh Valley switcher, yard switcher in front of the yard office, and the fuel oil storage is on the end of that track. The passing siding along the westbound main is controlled by the double crossover on this end and a single turnout on this end. This section of the track is again multi-purpose and serves as the lead for to both the Lackawanna and Wyoming Valley trackage interchange as well as the PRR interchange and the access to the meat hall. Both the PRR and the Laurel line are DC, so this segment, just like the C&J interchange, can be operated in both the DCC mode and the DC mode. Since these are non-operational at this time, we just leave this double pole, double throw switch in the Lehigh Valley position. Access to the meat hole requires a backing movement using this crossover. And the turnout to the passenger station storage track is non-operational at this time, so it's left in the movement of the meat hole. This segment is limited to a switcher and 3 cars. Although the Wilkes-Barre switcher can operate anywhere within the yard limits, he must be aware of both the Lehigh Valley's timetable schedule. For some of those trains he will have to provide services, and also the Jersey Centrals, as they will be passing through Franklin Junction and or switching at the interchange. The primary thing he will work from is this switch list, which is generated from the Easy Model Railroader software, free software that's available on the internet. The first car, a gondola, New York Central gondola, is going to the C&J for interchange. This Lehigh Valley boxcar and IC boxcar are both going to Continental Can Company. The Armour refrigerator car is going to the Armour and Company, which is in the meat hole. This next group of cars are pickups. This is the empty refrigerator, Pennsylvania Railroad boxcar, the tank car, which is in front of the yard office, which is empty, and then over at the freight station there are 3 cars that he will pick up, empties. The pickups will all be put on one of the double-ended tracks for pickup by the Wilkes-Barre local when it arrives and is dispatched by the Coxton Yardmaster. We have a Lehigh Valley automobile car which is going to the Parish Street Team Track. And then these last 3 cars are going to the Lehigh Valley Freight Station. Some of the other switch lists he will use: baggage car 1214 will be picked up by the John Wilkes, train 28A, and it's destined for Oak Island. When the Wilkes-Barre local arrives, he will be provided the switch list used to make up that train, and also the car cards for each of the cards in that train. These are the boxes he has to use to sort car movements, and for the car cards, these are all generated from Easy Model Railroader also. On the left, these are cars in the Pennsylvania Railroad yard. These are cars scheduled or arriving, going to the Pennsylvania Railroad for pickup on the interchange. Pennsylvania Railroad boxcar, it's an empty car request. It's going to the Okanite Company. Cars going to the C&J interchange. Cars going to Coxton. These will be the pickups by the Wilkes-Barre local. Cars that are in the whole cars in Wilkes-Barre, and then any cars for interchange to the Lackawanna, the Laurel line. I think you've seen that it's a pretty interesting operation for one operator, and it can be pretty challenging but very enjoyable.